It's One here, and this is my Shaddoll Star Seraph deck profile for 2015. Well, this is just an average Shaddoll deck, which is, well, kinda synergizing with the Star Seraphs, so it's pretty good to have your Shaddoll fusion out, and then you just go for a rank 4 exceed with 3 materials with the Star Seraph cards, which is pretty damn good. And so basically for a very strong game, this is exactly what you need, and let's get through the deck first. So because the Star Seraph cards are light type monsters, and you also run 2 effect veilers, and the Shaddolls are of course darkness type monsters. You have 1 BLS and 1 Chaos Sorcerer even. Only 1 Chaos Sorcerer because 2 would be too much, because this card is, in this context, actually situational. And well, you don't really need it. You have a lot of removal also with the Star Seraphs when you exceed summon, and well, you don't really need 2 of them. So 2 Shaddoll Beasts for card draw, 3 Shaddoll Dragons for the back row removal, 3 Squamata for obvious reasons. For the Star Seraphs you have 3 Scepters and 3 Sovereigns. So basically the ideal scenario is that you can go for a fusion, go for whatever window whatsoever you want, or well, rather construct and Shekinaga, because otherwise you won't be able to special summon. Anyways, ideally you have a Scepter and 1 Sovereign on your hand, which means you normal summon Scepter. You can immediately special summon Sovereign from your hand once you normal summon Scepter. Scepter searches your deck for another Sovereign, add that to your hand, special summon that Sovereign too, so you have 3 level 4 monsters you can go for an Exceed. Additionally, if you go for an Exceed monster which needs 3 or more materials, you can, by the effect of Star Seraph Scepter, after you Exceed summon the monster, destroy 1 card on the field, and also if you special summon Star Seraph Sovereign from your hand, you can immediately draw 1 more card. Which actually means you just play Star Seraph Scepter, and special summon 2 monsters and draw 2 cards, so it's just like circling. It's amazing. Okay, good. 2 Mathematicians. Only 2, because there are a lot of cards which get your Shaddolls into the graveyard. You don't really rely on 3 of these ones. The main reason why Mathematician is still good here is you can go for the El Shaddoll Shekinaga, which is very amazing in a lot of situations, and you don't want to miss out on that one. 2 Shaddoll Hedgehogs. Mainly you want the flip effect, so get your Shaddoll Fusion or El Shaddoll Fusion to your hand, depending on whatever you need in that kind of situation. 2 Shaddoll Falcos. There are some synchro plays possible, well, rather situational too, but anyways, also you can recycle the flip effects of monsters in your graveyard. It's good. 2 Effect Veilers, pretty important here, because you can't just rely on having Shekinaga out all the time, or maybe even 104. So the Effect Veiler is pretty useful, especially against the current meta. 1 Raigeki, because destroying stuff is always great. 2 Shaddoll Fusions and 3 El Shaddoll Fusions. The reason why we run 2 Shaddoll Fusions and not 3 is that we basically want to rely on flexibility a bit more, which means that El Shaddoll Fusion, which is a quick spell card, is much better in many situations than Shaddoll Fusion is, but we also run 2 Shaddoll Fusions because if your opponent controls monsters that was special summoned from the extra deck, you can use monsters from your deck as fusion material. So that is the great benefit of it. But as I said, El Shaddoll Fusion is better in most cases. 2 Dark Holes, because again, a lot of removal, you can trigger your Shaddoll effects. It's amazing. And once the board is empty and you manage to get rid of the back row somehow by Shaddoll Dragon or whatsoever, or you just play around it, well, he's pretty much dead because the OTK potential in this deck is really high. One Foolish Burial to trigger a certain Shaddoll effect you want, or even to get, let's say, a light monster into your graveyard to go for BLS or Chaos Sorcerer. So again, very situational choice, but amazing card here. As I said, 3 El Shaddoll fusions, 2 Mind Crushs, pretty amazing against the current meta again. Because, well, most of these cycling and pendulum shit decks really rely on getting the cards to their hand and cycling a lot of stuff, so their turns take like forever. And once you know what they're playing, and maybe even once you know what they just added to their hand, go for the Mind Crush. You might even discard more than 1 copy of that card, and that puts your opponent in a really tough spot. Also, if you guess wrong, it's not that bad, because I believe that it would trigger your Shaddoll effects when it discards one of them. The 2 Sinister Shadow Games, because, well, first of all, you can trigger flip effects of your Shaddolls, which means you can even play Squamata face down. Go for the flip effect if your opponent wants to attack something. And also you can send 1 Shaddoll to the graveyard, which means you can go for Sinister Shadow Game, send Shaddoll Dragon to the graveyard, destroy spell trap card, and in your next turn maybe buy some other effect like Foolish Burial or whatsoever, go for another Shaddoll Dragon, destroy another spell trap card, and get rid of hopefully most of your opponent's back row. It's good. Shaddoll Core, 1 Shaddoll Core. Also to recycle the Shaddoll Fusion or El Shaddoll Fusion, and to serve as fusion material. It's pretty good. 2 Call of the Hunted, because this is pretty amazing to get your Shaddoll Fusion monsters back to the field. And now for the extra deck, you have 2 El Shaddoll Shikinaga. They deny monster effects. It's pretty good. The stats are also okay. The cards you need for that are Mathematician and Shaddoll Monster. El Shaddoll Construct 3 times, obviously best card in here again, destroy special summon monsters without damage calculation. Shaddoll Winder for, well, finishing it off with a little bit of stun mechanics, it's great. For the Synchro monsters, again, as I said, these are situational but pretty helpful in many cases. So Star Eater is amazing because it can the summoning cannot be denied. Also, your opponent can't use effects when this card attacks, so it's pretty good to finish off with Star Eater. Leo, Keeper of the Sacred Tea, also safe from card effects which target cards until your main phase 2, it's good. Black Rose Dragon for the complete removal if you just cannot help it. For the Exceed monsters, Constellar Knight Diamond, you use this to put upon your Stellar Knight Deltaros, which is one of the options for the Star Seraphs. The other options for the Star Seraph combo are Evil Swarm Ouroboros and number 104 Masquerade. And also 1 rank 4 Exceed monster which requires only 2 materials is Castell, because Castell is well, one of the best removal Exceeds you can get here. And yeah. So that was basically it. I hope you enjoy this. There will be a video with some replays soon on my channel. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, TCG, Hearthstone, whatsoever videos, and I'll see you guys later.